Hello, and welcome to the Fact Factory podcast, where we dive deep into the truth and trends shaping our world today. I'm your host, Ishmael Chimaza. In today's episode, we are with health expert Benjamin Zondiwa, who is a renowned expert in wash and fabric health. He will share valuable insight on addressing the unique challenges and promoting sustainable solutions for healthy communities. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, can you share your expertise on water, sanitation, and hygiene in high population areas?
Okay, thank you. Let me start with what a high population area is. Okay. In high population areas, these are places whereby it is filled with overcrowded of people. In high population areas, people almost live there due to access of job opportunities and other things there. And these high population areas has a lot of impact on wash because due to the presence of companies and industries there in high population areas, they like to dispose their wastes in water banks, which they in that way they polluted the water, which can result in other effects on the people. And in these high populated areas, there is poor wash performances due to the presence of companies whereby they can dispose their waste in the water banks, and there are few places whereby people can go and dispose of their waste, like the presence of diapers and other things. So due to that reason, people go and dispose the waste in the water banks, which result in poor wash performance because the water is polluted. A densely populated region, as I already say, is the same as the high populated area.
Yeah.
Because like in these places, people are live like close to each other. So in these places,
Okay. So, can you share how does densely populated regions face unique wash challenges?
Okay. Just because densely populated regions, people live in overcrowded, like live in a very small space, but many people, there are limited space. So due to this limited space, there lack of insufficient space for water management and sanitation facilities. Okay, like most in densely population regions, they can be sharing of what? Toilets.
Yeah.
Sharing of toilets is not a good wash performance because it is not a good sanitation performance. So due to this reason, there can be transmission of diseases from one person to another. So because they can be sharing the toilet.
So you mean that each and every household should have its own toilet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a toilet which is shared by many people,
yeah,
it is difficult for it to be maintained and to be like for a good hygiene to be practiced there, because then they can just allow their young children to go there and without checking if they shouldn't have used the toilet well.
Okay, alright.
And in these densely populated areas, there is also increased disease transmission like waterborne diseases. Okay, because like access of water is not commonly there, so the people choose to use lakes and rivers, enjoying many things because they can't even access the water from the water board to do everything.
Which means the water from the water board is not cheap.
Okay, the water from the water board is cheap, I can say that to others,
but some people they can't afford it.
They can't afford it. And due to overcrowded areas, it's not like everyone can manage to access the water board water. So they choose to be using the lakes and the rivers. To the other hand, those people who are well-being, amema kind of access the my toilets because awanga disposal my waste in the water banks mwemuja, while the people who have shortage to access the water amakaswa gwizagano the same water, memo vangidwa polluted water, memo vangidwa disposal, my waste is. That means there can be transmission of waterborne diseases.
Okay, so what are some common misconceptions about wash practices in high population areas?
Okay, there is this misconception which they say wash education is unnecessary in highly populated areas. This misconception came due to they say that it's difficult to teach like high populated areas how they can take care of their water, how they can take care of toilet and latrines, how can handle hygiene practices, because the thing they use is like, as I said already, like in densely populated areas, like they can be sharing of toilets.
Yeah.
So it's difficult for them to teach them about hygiene. Because if you can teach them about hygiene, not all of them they can follow it, and it's difficult for them to practice that hygiene. And it's difficult for them to have the clean water back, like the water which is there is no pollutants. Because even if you can teach some they can be like using some they can be still disposing the waste in the water. That's why this misconception says that wash education is unnecessary in high populated areas. But this misconception is a fake misconception, because once everyone can take hands, if we can hold hand to hand in doing good practices in wash, there can be a change. And there can be low cases of waterborne diseases and other diseases which can result due to wash, which can result to poor wash performance.
Okay, how does limited access to clean water impact public health in densely populated areas?
Limited access of water,
clean water.
Okay, limited access to clean water can cause a lot of like challenges according to public health.
How can you explain on that one?
Due to limited access of water, they are overcrowded of people in the place where there is water.
Yeah.
Due to the overcrowded of people in the places where there is water, in that process they can be
transmitted from one person to another.
They can be transmitted of disease from one person to another due to the overcrowded of people in the place where they are going to access the water, because everyone will be lacking the water. So if they can just say that like there is water, everyone will need to go there so that they can access the water. So if they can go there to access the clean water, there will be like transmission of diseases, because there are some waterborne diseases. Okay, not waterborne diseases, like most airborne diseases can be transmitted there because they are overcrowded of people. And due to this
limited access of
clean water, there can be poor hygiene. Okay, because it will be difficult for people to do most of the household chores with more water. There can be like even exchange of water. Hey, Ramazanu, you must give me, I want to do this. Because the access of water is poor.
So what are the consequences of contaminated water sources on human health? What can be the consequences of changing water? You said that I should use it for my own reason. What can be the consequences of that?
Okay, the consequences of poor wash performance mostly is contamination of diseases. Because I'm telling you, if I can be using the water and still the same big, the same like basin to be using it, there can be easily transmission of diseases. Because I'm telling you, not like it's not like like the water may safe now. Because due to poor access of water, I can't be washing hands properly. That means in my hands there is germs. So if I'm handling the basin with germs in my hand and giving to someone else, that means the person automatically got the germs which were in my hand.
Okay. What are the most diseases can affect people due to poor practices in hygiene?
Okay, most of the diseases can be diarrheal diseases. Diarrheal disease can be there, and and I'm telling you, even this COVID-19, due to poor access of water, it can increase, because there will be shortage of water, so people won't be able to wash hands properly. And due to overcrowded places, people didn't wash hands properly, and they are sharing like things like basins and other things. The germs are in the basin, the germs are in the thing which they are sharing. So due to the sharing of the thing, they can make the contamination of the transmission of the disease to be occurring faster, because there will be poor hygiene. There will be no hygiene, in short.
Can you discuss innovative solutions for improving water access and quality in high population areas?
Okay. The first solution: water recycling and reuse. Okay. As I said already, in like high populated areas, there is little access of clean water. So the first solution, we can just recycle the water and use it in other ways. If we can recycle the water, if you can take the water, like we can have the water, we can boil it, we can add chlorine in it. In that point, we can have the access of clean water on ourselves. That makes sense.
Yeah, it is making.
Okay. Another one is rainwater harvesting.
Yeah.
Due to the there is limited of water in like high populated areas.
Okay.
Yeah. Rainwater harvesting can help, because if we can harvest the water from the rainwater, and we can keep it for future use. During the time which we are lacking water, we can be using the water which we harvested it. Access of rainwater is also important in like irrigation and other things.
Yeah.
So due to rainwater harvesting can help to make the water accessible in high populated areas. Another solution is like introducing water kiosks.
Yeah.
Due to the presence of water kiosks, most of the people in like high populated area will have the access to clean water, because in the kiosks, like the fee which is there so that people can access the clean water is lesser. It's like affordable amount which everyone can manage to get the water, the clean water. So if there is availability of kiosks in the high populated areas, people will have the access of clean water, which can like reduce the waterborne diseases and other diseases which can come due to poor wash performance.
Okay, so why are hygienic practices important in preventing diseases in high populated areas?
First point, I will start with prevent contaminations. Okay, if the people in the population are washing hands properly after using toilets and after like changing like a short diapers and other things, they can be like less urgent. The contamination of the disease will be reduced, since there will be no germs in their hands. So there will be no like direct contamination of the disease. It will be reduced. Another point, reduce illness and death. Due to illness and death, like if their toilet is mostly clean, I will put an example toilets in latrines. If they are using a good toilet and latrines, there will be no breeding of like bacteria and parasites in the toilets. So there are no breeding of bacteria and like other things in the toilet, there will be no contamination of the disease, because the toilets are clean. There are no bacteria in the toilet, so they can go there, they can do what they want in the toilet, but when coming back, they will no longer come back with the diseases. They will no longer come back with contamination of disease, just because the latrines are clean, just because they are hygiene in the toilet and in the latrines.
Which means these diseases can be reduced or minimized. Okay, how can individuals and communities prioritize hygiene, proper waste disposal, and surface cleaning?
Okay, I'll start with hand hygiene. Okay, like communities must make hand hygiene a habit, especially after using the bathroom, before eating, and after blowing the nose or coughing or sneezing. Okay, and still on hand hygiene, I can say they must use soap and water for at least 20 seconds. This must be a habit. Okay, they must encourage children to practice good hygiene practice